This is a disk drive for a Commodore 64, and it was notoriously slow when compared to other systems of the day. I'm Matt D'Amico, and welcome to episode 7 of Retro Bits. In today's bit, we'll take a look at JiffyDOS, a disk enhancement for the Commodore VIC-20, 64, and 128. But first, a quick recap of the flaws that kept these machines from realizing their full performance potential. In 1977, Commodore debuted the PET, which featured a high-speed parallel interface for disk drives and printers. In a cost-saving measure, when the VIC-20 was introduced for the home market 3 years later, this parallel interface was replaced by a serial port that used less expensive cables. Shortly before release, a defect was discovered in the MOS 6522 VIA chip, which implemented a shift register to quickly serialize the parallel drive data. Too late to correct the problem in hardware, Commodore implemented a patch in the kernel that instead used the CPU to process the received signals, a process known as bit banging. This crippled the performance of the attached disk drives, reducing their speed to around 300 bytes per second. This speed was 5 times slower than the drives had been designed to operate. Because the later 64 and 128 were backward compatible with the drives, they too suffered with drastically reduced performance. The 128 addressed the issue with the new burst mode in the 1571 and 1581 drives, but even those devices would benefit from JiffyDOS, especially when used in 64 mode. Another disadvantage was that these 8-bits had no dedicated disk controller or interface, another of Commodore's infamous cost-saving measures. As a result, the systems did not implement even the most basic disk commands in their firmware. Instead, the drives had their own 6502 CPU, RAM, and ROM to handle disk operations, making them essentially standalone computers in their own right, and, as a result, significantly more expensive than competing products. This is the reason for the esoteric commands required to perform even simple tasks like listing a directory. In order to issue any commands to the drive, you have to jump through some pretty awkward hoops. Here's the syntax required to make a copy of a file. To overcome these deficits, Mark Fellows created JiffyDOS in 1984. He would go on to co-found CMD several years later, which became a huge name in the Commodore world. JiffyDOS is a replacement for both the system's kernel and the drive's ROM. It implements a full suite of DOS commands in BASIC and drastically increases the performance of attached drives. Because it's implemented in ROM, JiffyDOS has fewer compatibility issues than other fastload cartridges or speed loaders. JiffyDOS doesn't occupy any external ports and can be switched off when not needed. Further, it accelerates both reading and writing of all file types, unlike most fastloaders that are limited to just reading PRG files. JiffyDOS has support for over 25 devices, including third-party drives. On a 1541, JiffyDOS increases program load speeds by up to a factor of 10. On a 1581 or SD2 IEC, this is increased to as much as 20 times the speed of a base 1541. JiffyDOS works by changing how data on the serial bus is transferred by using the clock and data lines in a more efficient way, while also providing full backward compatibility with Commodore's native protocol. Over the years, there have been many other Fastloader products implemented as either a cartridge or in the software itself. Some claim to be even faster than JiffyDOS, such as DolphinDOS. Maybe something to look at in a future bit. A comparison of available Fastloaders is linked below in the description. Now I'll demonstrate a small subset of the commands JiffyDOS provides. Disk commands are implemented through the common DOS wedge syntax, which is similar to other software-only or cartridge-based solutions. Each function key now performs an action. For example, pressing F1 displays the current drive's directory. Control D changes the current drive to the next available device. JiffyDOS implements several methods of pausing the display of a directory or when listing the contents of a text or BASIC file, a pretty serious omission in the original kernel. Another nice feature is that displaying a disk's directory no longer erases the basic program in memory. Shift Run Stop is a handy time saver that auto-starts the first program on a disk. Here are some other useful disk commands provided by JiffyDOS that were more difficult to perform in BASIC or required loading additional software. A built-in file copier lets you interactively select files to copy from the directory listing. Hitting Ctrl-A will select everything, or you can select individual files as demonstrated here. Alright, let's get to the benchmarking. To start off, we need a baseline, so I'm going to load this 110 block single file game on an unaccelerated 1541-2 drive. Each block is 256 bytes, so 4 to a kilobyte. That makes this test file 27.5K. I don't own a JiffyDOS ROM for this 1541-2. I do have one for an original 1541, but the EEPROM is different, so it's not compatible. The 1571 and 1581 drives have both been upgraded, so they're usually the ones pressed into service instead. I'll spare you the wait, so let's cut right to the end. For the next test, I'll be using this 1541 Ultimate 2 device, which claims to have cycle-accurate emulation. In theory, it should offer identical performance to the real disk drive. Let's test that out by repeating our baseline test without JiffyDOS using the modern hardware. No surprises there, the cycle-accurate emulation gives us exactly the same result. Okay, now things get interesting. Let's enable JiffyDOS on the computer and the drive and repeat the test. Wow, look at that improvement, almost exactly 10 times faster. This result is typical of the performance increase you'll see on real hardware for all types of software. If you thought that last example was fast, let's benchmark an SD2 IEC, which is fully JiffyDOS compatible right out of the box. I've raved about this device in the past, and now you get to see why. This performance boost is nothing short of transformative. With this simple upgrade, the design and implementation mistakes of the past can be relegated to the dustbin of history. In episode 2, I mentioned that JiffyDOS was one of the most significant period-correct upgrades available for your Commodore 8-bit. I hope this video provided the context to support that claim. Let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this bit, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Retro Bits.